Good afternoon, everybody. To start off, I'm going to ask you to picture the perfect woman. Just by hearing this statement, I guarantee most people in this room thought of a few key attributes that society has made us to think necessary of a mate. Society tells us that a woman is to be tall, flawless, and thin to be beautiful and to have worth. This is called the beauty myth. I am here to argue that the beauty myth, while real, is a dangerous thing and should be changed to view women of all shapes and colors as beautiful. In her TED Talk at Lafayette College titled The Dangerous Ways Ads See Women, Jean Kilbourne states that girls today are getting the message so young that they need to be incredibly thin and beautiful and hot and sexy, and that they're going to fail because it is in no way to measure up to the impossible ideal. It's artificial, it's constructed, it's impossible. But real women and girls measure themselves against it every single day. Of course it will affect self-esteem. Advertisements are full of women that have been photoshopped to make the real woman, the ideal woman. This makes women feel like they need to be young, thin, and beautiful to have value. In other words, if they are not thin and do not have flawless skin, then they amount to nothing and have no worth. Now, while there are some companies that are taking the stride to include plus-size models in their advertisements, such as Dove and Lane Bryant, I am saddened to say that it was extremely difficult to find many more companies that include the use of plus-size women in their campaigns, whereas finding the opposite was far too easy. Dove's advertisement starts a conversation with their audience to help get them thinking. In this ad, Dove asks the audience whether they think the model is fat or fit. And underneath, Dove states, "Does true beauty only squeeze into size 8? While Dove is asking the audience what they think and giving the audience the chance to make the wrong choice, there are companies such as Lane Bryant who are starting a whole new conversation. In the commercial Lane Bryant published in 2017 for their Cacique lingerie line, Lane Bryant had several models point out what they thought of their bodies. The models talked about their stretch marks, their love handles, cellulites, and more, while daring the audience to own their bodies and accept who they are, and ending the commercial claiming that they are no angel, taking down their opponent's Victoria's Secret, whose models are called angels. Lane Bryant also stated under the publication of their video that they will continue sharing their stories and breaking down stereotypes until all women and young girls see themselves as beautiful. Unfortunately, with other brands such as Victoria's Secret and magazine companies who continue to use unrealistic expectations of women in their advertisements, this will be a long and hard journey. This makes women feel as if they need to be skinny to look sexy. This causes many young women to take drastic measures such as starvation or vomiting to achieve their ideal body. In Seeing Sociology in Everyday Life, an article in Society the Basics, Macchionis states that the belief in the beauty myth is one reason that so many women are focused on body image, particularly being as thin as possible, often to the point of endangering their health. Seeing advertisements of women who are thin and flawless and who are considered to be the standard for beauty in today's society, plastered over billboards, magazine racks, and television commercials are only enhancing the mental and physical struggle that young women are competing with on a daily basis. According to research collected in 2016 by the author of Facts About Eating Disorders in the Eating Disorder Coalition, every 62 minutes, at least one person dies as a direct result from an eating disorder. From the time children are old enough to watch and understand television, they are bombarded by images that contribute to the beauty myth through commercials, cartoons, and even Barbie dolls. We are forcing the ideal as the norm to our children. The only way to change this is for companies to accept that the beauty of all women is not only one type of woman, but all types of women. Thank you for your time. Any questions?
I have a question. So I recently was listening to a podcast of these two actresses, and on one of their auditions, one of the casting directors told them that they would be perfect for the role, but to keep the role, they would literally have to be anorexic. They said you don't have to lose weight, but you have to be anorexic to have this role. So do you think that this shift in including plus-size models is going to have an influence on TV and movies as well?
Unfortunately, I do believe that it will have an influence. I'd like to say it would have a positive influence, but at the same time, it could veer people towards gaining weight more than losing it. And that could, if they don't take care of themselves the proper way, it could also lead to obesity as opposed to anorexia.
Makes sense.
And do you think, like the beauty make concept can affect the self-esteem of women?
I definitely think it affects the self-esteem of women. Just for an example, me getting ready for this speech today, I felt that to dress business casual to do the speech, I had to wear a dress, I had to wear makeup, and it didn't really help with the self-esteem aspect. But hearing somebody tell you that, oh, you look beautiful without makeup, you don't need that, it does help with your self-esteem a lot, and that does contribute to the beauty myth.
Now, what do you think about people or guys that bash women who do wear too much makeup or try to look beautiful for themselves or things along that nature? It's almost like you can't win either way, right?
I'd like to say a lot of stuff about those men, but I can't say for this speech. I would have to say that the first thing we have to do is shift the woman's perspective on this, and then men should fall in line as they do with a lot of other things. Usually once you change the woman's mind, the men's mind starts to adapt to the way that women are living. I'd like to think that. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, thank you for your time.